All right, fellas, we're doing it outside today. It's a little punishment to myself in the freezing cold for missing the last two. So I'm gonna be doing live action. Let me move this chair. Be doing live action for the match analysis for the first time. And but I have written down the pre-matchup analysis and the post-matchup analysis. If I did that off dome, get extremely messy. All right. Just can hear the cars outside. All right, first off, we got our MVPs of the week. We have quarterbacks. We have Dak Prescott, 33 for Challenge Recovery month four. He got 33 of his 79 points. It's awful. Jalen Hurts got 30 for Peel Shooters, also in a loss. Gibbs dropped 68, the most out of any player this season, for Barry McCockner in the second highest total point scoring of the season. And that is 3 weeks in a row. We see the top three point scorers. 3 weeks ago, it was These Beers Are Talking with 195. 2 weeks ago, it was Uncle Josh with 179, and now this week it is 186 for Barry McCockner. CMC, 27 for Uncle Josh is the second one. For wide receivers, we have the highest scoring player besides Gibbs, JSN dropping 46 for Tom Casale. Um, Now known as sacks. I'm just gonna say sacks. Wan'Dale Robinson dropped 33 for Barry McCockner, and tight ends, Hunter Henry dropped 27 for Zevins. Quarterbacks, LVP, we have Purdy for regular nuts dropping 7. RBs, Swift dropped 1.9 for Mitsubishi Marv. And for wide receivers, we had two goose eggs. Addison for Tammers Recovery month four, and JMO for Pierceless Shooters. And then also a goose egg at tight end for Njoku for the Cosbys. We have one trade, maybe one of the last blockbuster trades we'll see. We had Uncle Josh finally get rid of Flowers at the perfect time. Shaheed, BTJ, and Troy Franklin for Schultz and Flowers. Maybe I'm biased, but I'm going to say that Uncle Josh wins this trade because Schultz was the backup tight end, and I like Franklin better than Flowers. I think Franklin was the best player in this trade, and he got BTJ and Shaheed on top of it. I like this for Uncle Josh. All right, let's get into the matchup analysis. Got my phone on standby today. Um, See how we're doing this week, I guess. Doing really good for now, but so is Sax. So Sax is also doing great. So a little bit scared there. All right. Okay, first matchup of the week. We'll do the most boring one. Team Recovery month four versus Uncle Josh. 108 to 70, 108 to 80. Tatum's Recovery month four under his projection by quick math in the head, 29. Uncle Josh under his projection by 33. Uncle Josh winning this one by 28. Um, Addison, Shavers, and the Lions defense combine for -2 points. And if you put Diggs in there, they combine for 2 points. Just an awful, awful week for Tatum's Recovery month four. Dak Prescott dropped 33. Chase Brown dropped 18. Fairbairn dropped 12. That is 63 combined. The rest of his roster dropped 16 combined. Just awful stuff. Um, for Uncle Josh, just a very midweek all around. Lamb only got 11, his lowest of the season. Um, Williams got 6, his lowest of the season. Allen got 8. I think that's his second lowest of the season. Let me check. It is his lowest of the season. Warren dropped 9, one of his lowest. But Borregales clutch with 18, and of course McCaffrey dropping 27. Um, that's just clutch time. The bench wasn't looking good too, besides Tracy, who's low key nice, and you guys should have went out and got him. So glad the Saquon trade didn't go through, but Uncle Josh improves to 9-3. Tatum's Recovery month four. It's closer and closer to last. I mean, technically, based on the app, there's a 4% chance he gets last, but I doubt that's going to happen. But Tatum's Recovery month four on a 3-game losing streak. Uncle Josh 4-game winning streak, 9-3 versus 5-7. Now after that week. Um, okay, next most boring matchup. Damn, there was no good matchups this week. I don't even know what I'm gonna do for match for the week. I'm probably just not gonna do a match for the week because they were all pretty ass, as far as I recall. I guess I'll do that one for match for the week, so I'll save that. Next up, for boring, a 50-point blowout, but not the biggest blowout of the week. We have Putin Dem going crazy, dropping 152. Crazy, great bounce back week, beating the disappointments by 50, dropping 102. Putin Dem overperforming his projection. Oh, the app sucks, so it's not going to show me the actual projection. Um, Whatever. Putin Dem dropped 152. Shout out Fire Truck. Damn, he had four 20 plus point scores. Kareem Hunt going crazy, dropping 23. Damn, see my breath. It's freaking freezing. AJ Brown finally going off, dropping 28, and Rasheed dropping 27. Crazy stuff. Theo Johnson getting active against the Lions. I think Poot was projected to lose early on in this one, and then he just caught fire. On the other hand, the disappointments living true to their team name, only dropping 102 in the playoff races this close. Jacoby Brissett and James Cook combined for 50, and after that, pretty big shit show. Would have lost to a lot of teams this week. Um, so okay, I forgot to mention Tanner Montgomery month four only dropped 79, the lowest of the week. And disappointments not too far ahead of that with 102. Shaheed only getting 5 points and not a single reception, just rushing yards. He got rid of him, but he'll be calmly sitting on my bench, so I don't really care. Um, Marks ass Jefferson Seller. I mean, I don't even know if he's going to go in the first round next year. I mean, in a 14-man league, I bet he'll go low first, maybe high second, but definitely not the keeper that Spumans is looking for. If I was him, I'd probably keep McMillan or James Cook. All right, so Prot now 6-6. The Poot now 6-6. Disappointments now 6-6. Both mid as hell. Record wise, Poot has a great squad, just not able to perform. Next up in boring matchups, we'll go next to JBC versus Mitsubishi Marv, probably the upset of the week. We're looking at Mitsubishi Marv, whole lot of mid. Nakua hasn't been, well, he's been like good, but I wouldn't say he's back to his normal self. He hasn't dropped more than 18 since, oh, wait, no, he dropped 22 once since he came back. He was only out 1 week. I swear he was out longer than that. But oh, he was out. I mean, technically 2 weeks 'cause he got injured versus Baltimore. But yeah, Puka only dropping 17, not hitting that 100-yard bonus mark. Not an awful week, I guess. Mitsubishi Marv dropped less than the disappointments, but a lot of players dropped 10 plus for him, just slightly over 10, which is why it looks worse than it is. My hands are freaking freezing. Stafford dropping 23. Shout out the Panthers for just beating him and getting Drake May to the head of that race. And then over on the other hand, JBC, Lamar only dropped 7, so it was looking a little shaky for him. But Wilson for the Packers dropping 30. Crazy stuff. If he hit his projection, it would be a lot closer game. His projection was 5. DK finally getting on the board with 14, and Devontae has been doing better and better every week. Now that Stafford, I think, has picked him as his favorite target instead of Nakua. So, did they just hit? I don't know. My neighbor just ran over some glass or something. Rams defense dropping 20, clutch form. Pearsall is ass. Not Pearsall shooters. Not to be confused with Pearsall shooters, who is also ass, but Ricky Pearsall himself is ass. I mean, I don't really get the Pearsall shooters cha name change to that. I mean, he's not even on his team. I mean, you gotta like have some camaraderie with your squad. Yeah, I was discussing with Pearsall Shooter's manager last night, and he was saying he wasn't creative enough because a lot of these team names have brands. Pearsall Shooter's brands right now is just picking a random player in the league and doing a play on words that he saw on TikTok. I mean, I think he's got to. I mean, you got to get a little creativity in there. We got the Nuts brand, we got the Rue brand. That's a good brand. Um, Sax is a good brand. There's a spider crawling on me. Just flicked him off. That was cool. Barry McCockner is probably the worst team name in the league right now. Poot has a great brand. I would say the top brands are Poot, Nuts, and myself because it's just every year. Like Poot hasn't changed in a while, but it's always an iteration of Poot. Uncle Josh, friend Baker, acquaintance Baker, cousin Jared. It's always an iteration of a team name and the bond that we share together. Then Nuts, of course, always some form of Nuts. Um, but yeah, so now JBC is 7-5, and Mitsubishi Marv drops to 6-6. The West Conference. I mean, this is looking like the NBA back in 2016. The West Conference is a bunch of ballers. The second to last place in the Western Conference is tied with first in the East. I mean, that is ridiculous in a 14-man league. That is sixth place in the West, tied for first in the East. A lot of teams just screwed with their placement. Um, Especially these beers are talking, who would have been second, but now is third. It doesn't really matter. I mean, I guess it does because that's the difference between playing the 6th seed and the 7th seed. Whoa. But I mean, with the playoff picture, it doesn't really matter. I'm really hoping that Mitsubishi Marv doesn't finish in eighth. I don't think we have that problem with Poot based on how he's playing this week, but I'm really hoping it's Thames Recovery month four. The Cosbys are like regular nuts or something with Amon-Ra out, of course. Hopefully he stays out and Drake. Um, unless Drake comes back and I'm able to make that trade for him. All right, next up, a lot of boring matchups. A lot of boring matchups. We'll go Sacks versus regular nuts next. Um, Sacks at JSN went crazy. With the team name rebrand, it went great this week for him. As he was able to drop 135, outscored regular nuts by 23. Sam Darnold was pretty good with Bo Nix on by. Jacoby Myers find the end zone last week, and he did against the Titans this week. Um, Michael Wilson, his last week being good was this past week. I unfortunately started him in my other league, and he just wasn't getting the job done. Amon-Ra, unfortunately, is going to be out. He went crazy this week with 33, but he's not going to be seen him next week. And regular nuts might have to work to get into the playoffs, something we weren't expecting. He's on a one-game losing streak right now. Barkley still ass. Thank God he's not on my team. Barkley sucks. He sucks. His name is Saquon. Doesn't matter. The name doesn't matter. His performance this year has been awful. Kamara sucks. He was out this week. Um, Jalen Warren got 13 for him, but Wilson did drop 25. But like I said, that was his last week of performing highly, and it didn't. I mean, it's not going to matter from now on. And that last week performance was for nothing because he's out now. So regular nuts is on mid watch. Very, very bad. Very, very bad team, especially with Amon-Ra out. But he's still in the playoff picture for now. Next up, we'll go to the Rue versus Evans. The Rue only dropping 92. My gosh, this was the week to do it. Sevens dropping 108. He's doing great this week against Mitsubishi Marv. Let's check out that projection. Um, the Rue is out projecting him by 18. Wow. Wow. As Nakua sucked, they all sucked. But let's get back to the week. But the Rue is out projecting by 18, and he still has Jackson Dart and Dawson Knox. Um, anyways, let's get back. Wait, let's see how Pearsall's is doing. Ass. Oh geez, Pearsall's in trouble. But yeah, so we'll go back to the Rue game. Oops, accidentally clicked on a notification. Let's head back. Mitsubishi Marv, ass. Wait, no, what the hell? Jeez, see, this is what happens when you're not organized. This is the punishment to myself. I didn't even prepare for this. I take this shit seriously. Um, Jared Goff, 17. Outscored Lawrence by 200 hundredths of a point. Um, but yeah, the Rue, Jordan Mason, and Tyjae Spears combined for 10 in the running back slot. Javonte and Rashad only combined for 17. Well, Hunter Henry ultimately makes the difference in this one, dropping 27. If Henry hit his projection and dropped a solid 11 points, the Rue would have won this game. But the Rue now on a three-game losing streak with his highest scorer being Lawrence and Harrison Butker, and then Falcons defense. You're never gonna win when your two of your three highest scorers are in the special teams positions. Bam Knight got a touchdown. And just a decent game all around for Evans. Pretty mid, but good for him. And Bucky Irving will be back next week. I'm assuming Daniels is out for the year, but McLaurin I think is back too. So we'll see how Evans does this week. Let's see how he's doing actually. Jeez, the car has got to be so annoying. Oh, he's projected to lose to these beers are talking by two right now. That would be a clutch win for this guy, clinching the one seed instead of the three. But we'll see what happens. Next up we got so okay, so the Rue is now 4-8, Evans is 5-7, the Rue on a three-game losing streak. Next up, we got Barry McCockiner dropping the second highest point total of the season, 186. Um, led by Jahmyr Gibbs dropping 68 and Wan'Dale Robinson dropping 33. On the other side of things, Cosby's dropped 101, got outscored by 85. I mean, he didn't deserve all that. Joker dropping 0, Pierce dropping 3, and Taylor. When Taylor's ass, it's just a recipe for disaster. Henry dropped 23 and Caleb dropped 22, but it just wasn't enough. Shakir dropped 20, Daniel Jones dropped 17, Robinson dropped 15, Bowers dropped 11.5. I mean, Bear McCockner just went absolutely crazy, and Jahmyr Gibbs, of course, at the helm with 68 points, the highest of the season. And he had Darnell Mooney on the bench. If you put him in there in the flex, he could have got the highest point total of the season. So say, wait, I think that's the highest. Yeah, that's the highest he could have gotten. Um, but yeah, a great performance by Barry McCockiner. Cosby's lackluster, and Cosby's now 5-7, very unlikely to make the playoffs. And Barry McCockiner is moving up the ranks, 6-6, just outside of the playoff picture. Started 1-5, and now the match for the week, still a pretty mid matchup. Pearsall Shooters dropped 120, and these beers are talking dropped 134. Hurts the highest, the second. Oh, Pickens dropped 32. Pickens had a great week. Hurts dropped 31. But on the other side of things, we have McBride who goes crazy every week. Olave, who's, I mean, I didn't think he was that good going into the year, but Olave's going crazy. Devontae dropped 15, Gentry 25, May 16. I mean, all these one, two, three, four, five, six players dropping 15 plus, and I snuck Devontae in there with 14.9. I'll count that as 15 plus. It just Pearsall is just doesn't have the depth to match that. With only three players at 15 plus with Loveland, Pickens, and Hurts. And Pearsall's drops to 4-8. And these birds are talking stays tied for first, but technically in third because of divisions with Uncle Josh. And we are on to okay, I'll start with the shots because that's the most boring one. Uncle Josh, 0 shots. Tim's Curry 1-4, 9 shots. Evans 5 shots. Rue 8 shots. Fucking freezing. Mitsubishi Mar 5 shots. JBC 10 shots. Sacks 3 shots. Regular Nuts 4 shots. Poot 0 shots after the chug of the Captain Morgan. The disappointments 7 shots. Cosby's 5 shots. Bear McCockner 6 shots. Pierce Shooters 2 shots. These beers are talking 2 shots. Um, into the playoffs we have sacks, and out of the playoffs we have Tatum's recovery, but for technically not trading spots because of how far sacks moved up. But right now, for so I'll get into the standings and the playoff percentages last because that is the most interesting. I'll go right now with Poot in first in points, 1542, jumping up 2 spots. Uncle Josh with 1538, 4 points behind him, falling a spot, and these beers are talking, jumping a spot at 1531, 7 points out of second and 11 points out of first. Clinch not being punished. I'm not going to name all of them because actually more people have a chance, less people have a chance of being punished than people that have clinch not being punished. Everybody has clinch not being punished, but the Rue, Tatum's recovery month 4, Pearsall Shooters, Cosby's, and Zevins. And the percentages for that, according to fantasyfootballhub.com, the Rue has an 83% chance of getting punished. Pearsall Shooters has a 12.25% chance of being punished. Tatum's recovery month 4 has a 4.61% chance of being punished, and Zevins and Cosby's combined for less than 1% chance at being punished. So it's basically between the Rue, Pearsall Shooters, and Tatum's recovery month 4. But after this week, Tatum's recovery month 4 is looking like he's going to win. That'll probably get lower, and then the Rue is looking like he's going to win. So that is going to change a lot if the Rue wins. Clinch playoffs is still only these beers are talking to Uncle Josh, which is crazy. All right, so now we'll get. So first we'll do streaks. The highest winning streak is Uncle Josh with a 4 game winning streak. And the biggest losing streaks are the Rue and Tatum's Recovery month 4 with 3 game losing streaks. All right. Standings and playoff odds. We'll go. I'll say the standings first, all together, and then I'll say the playoff odds second. Uncle Josh in first, staying at first. Sacks in second, technically tied for the division lead, jumping up 7 spots from not a playoff spot to division leader. These beers are talking, staying in third. In fourth, JBC moving up 2 spots. In fifth, Poot moving up 2 spots. In sixth, Mitsubishi Mart falling 4 spots. In seventh, Regular Nuts falling 3 spots. In eighth, The Disappointments falling 3 spots. In ninth, Barry McCockiner jumping a spot. In 10th, James Recovery month 4 falling 2 spots. In 11th, The Cosbys still in 11th. In 12th, Zevins jumping a spot. In 13th, Pearsall Shooters falling a spot. And in last, and in the most likely to be punishment on punishment watch is the Rue in 14th. All right, percentages in order. We have first, tied for first. Uncle Josh and these Brews are talking at 100% clinching playoffs. In third, we have JBC. We have Mitsubishi Marv at 94%. In fourth, we have JBC at 92%. In fifth, we have Pooh at 85%. And shocking, in sixth, not currently in a playoff spot, at the sixth highest odds to make the playoffs, we have Barry McCockiner at 81%. And in seventh, we have Sacks at 78%. And in eighth, we have regular nuts at 67%. And then in ninth, we have the disappointments at 66%. And now into below 50% odds in 10th, Tatum's recovery month four at 20%. In 11th, we have Cosby's at 13th%. In 12th, we have the Zevins at 6%, and we have Pearsall Shooters and the Rue combining for less than 1% chance at making the playoffs, but still, according to Fantasy Football Hub, a chance. Um, let's check what's going on right now. Currently. Oh shit, the late slate started. Oh, I missed my bet. My God, what an idiot I am. God, I forgot to bet, bro. What an idiot. Seahawks and Vikings are live. I'll just bet on the two late slate games. We're gonna go Bills minus 3.5, Chargers Raiders over 41.5, and then we'll go Bills Steelers under 44.5. And we'll do this with Fliff money, pocket change, of course. And then tonight I'm probably gonna bet on the Broncos or the under. Anyways, this week we have okay, so Uncle Josh is currently slated. He's projected to be, oh my God, Jackson Smith-Njigba doesn't have a catch in the first quarter. That's looking good for Uncle Josh. He's projected to win by 18 currently against Sacks. James Curry, month four, a surprise projected to beat JBC by 27 points right now. JBC only projected to get 83 after Lamar sucks still. Pollard and ETN combining for 10. Um, Pooh going to kill regular nuts, projected to win by almost 100, about 90. Um, with just players going crazy this week. Already four combining for 20 with Theo Johnson, Cortland Sutton, and Bills defense to go. Regular nuts with Jalen Warren, Kenneth Gainwell, Lad McConkey, and Zach Ertz. Just an absolute shit show over at regular nuts. Next up, we got the disappointments and the Cosbys separated by 4 points right now. And that is interesting. Actually, fuck, I could probably place a bet right now on the Seahawks game because oh wait, no. Oh wait, yeah, no. There's 5:47 left. Yeah, I'll wait till the end of the quarter. Probably bet. I mean, Vikings live will probably look pretty tasty if it's 0-0 still. Um, but yeah, that one is looking like it might be the match for the week with how close it is. Or Zevins and these beers are talking also separated by two. Zevins currently at 109 with only Hunter Henry to go. But these beers are talking has Drake May, Ashton Genty, Trevion Henderson, and Patriots defense left to play. That one is going to be close too. I have no idea how that one's going to go. Barry McCockner projected to outscore Pearsall Shooters by 26, and it's looking like Pearsall Shooters is going to have to win next week if he doesn't want to get punished. Um, which is a tall task. And the biggest surprise, the Rue projected to beat Mitsubishi Mar by 18 and 93% chance to win currently. And all right, that'll do it for this one. Good luck to everyone this week, especially the two close matchups where we likely don't know what's going to happen. The next closest, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if Sachs made a little comeback with JSN. But we'll see what happens. Good luck this week, good luck next week, and good luck to everyone about to try to make the playoffs. Fortunately, me and these beers are talking already in there, but we'll see what happens. All right, peace out, fellas.